Isaiah 10 and 27. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. Before I get on with this video, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh Bashim Shai's peace be bestowed unto you elect. Your brother Yahweh called from Great Millstone, Orlando. And peace and safety. As I'm going to play this video here about supposedly the banning of dynamic pricing, that would be good news to most. But again, peace and safety, because one way or the other, prophecy is going to play out that MOTB will be mandated. And behind scenes, Esau's doing all type of things to getting everyone accumulated into this system, so that way he can track, trace, and be like the Most High. So, getting into this video,
is banning dynamic pricing on groceries and food delivery. AI is making it easier to change prices in real time based on customers' personal data. Now, Maryland is becoming the first state to ban the practice. Elizabeth Stelzy has more on what could be a growing trend.
Hey Diane, this is a big move to try to crack down on dynamic pricing when companies use AI to change prices in real time based on customers' personal data. So you might pay a different price than someone buying the exact same thing at the same time. Maryland just became the first state to ban dynamic pricing at grocery stores and with food delivery services. As of October 1st, any store that uses shoppers' personal information to charge higher prices risks facing a $10,000 fine. Last year, a small case study found that Instacart charged different prices for shoppers buying the same foods at the same time. After backlash, Instacart later said it ended those pricing experiments. There have also been concerns with Walmart's shift to digital price tags in all of its stores by the end of next year. The retailer says the prices are the same no matter who is shopping. There is clearly some momentum on this. Dozens of other states have introduced legislation to try to ban dynamic pricing, including at grocery stores, or to force companies to disclose if they are using this strategy. Some consumer advocates actually say Maryland's law doesn't go far enough. For example, it doesn't apply to prices associated with stores' loyalty programs. While an Association of Maryland Businesses is pushing back, they say grocery stores don't engage in individual price gouging, and dynamic pricing is more common in industries like hotels, rideshare apps, and airlines. Diane.
for one, anything could happen between now and October 1st. But again, for those that don't know about dynamic pricing, it all goes back to being a part of the system. Because like it says in Revelation, which I'm going to get, that's why I started off with this in Isaiah 10 and 27 again. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck. So the day is coming when, because as of right now, spiritually speaking, we are already detached from this system. We still do what we have to do, conduct our business, whatever the case may be. But that time is coming when, again, the physical departure, and the just are going to have to completely live by faith. Because when it's all said and done, what are you going to do what are we going to do when, like it says in Revelation 13, and this is how you know it's talking about, or it's not talking about what these other camps are spewing out there as far as this, because this is going to be this is a major stumbling block amongst Israelite camps, and so much that it just goes to show you that Yahweh Bashim Shai has these people blinded, because as much as we get on the Christians, well, even a lot of Christians know that the MOTB fits this prophecy here. Even a lot of Christians know this. As much as we get on them, and as dumb as they are, even Christians can see for the most part. And make no mistake about it, because these Christians and everyone, because we're in the age, all these preppers, everyone's talking about doing or living off grid and things of that nature. But like it says in the same book, Revelation, the 3rd chapter, the hour of temptation is going to come upon all the world. Everyone's going to be tried. Like it says in Ezekiel 33. And to echo off Apostle Tahar, when this thing comes around, and it's not coming, it's already here. For one, these so-called leaders in Israel, they have a lot of explaining to do. And again, to echo off what the Apostle Tahar, when this thing comes around, this is gonna shake a lot of things, man, amongst the circumcision. You got Jake from different camps leaving the these different groups, coming over to the real men of the Lord. Coming on the comment boards of brothers from the apostles and elders, because more and more people are starting to see. So that's why in Ezekiel 33 and 33, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. And that's the cold part about it. Whether you believe it or not, as I quoted in Revelation 3, everyone's going to be forced to make a decision. Everyone's going to be presented with the opportunity to either take this MOTB implantable device under the skin or not. It says, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. And for most, it's going to be too late, of course. But the time is coming, all right? Esau, as of right now, man, this is something that he's been doing. He's sitting back, collecting data, collecting everyone's information to get everyone, again, accumulated on this system. Because like it says in Ecclesiastes, wisdom, money is a defense, and so is wisdom. So again, with these different Israelite groups out here going into this major prophecy, all right, which again, to echo off Apostle Tahar, they're either sold out or the Lord's just really have them blinded, because it's clear to the pure, all things are pure. Ecclesiastes 7 and 12, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. So it only makes sense, all right, a new way of buying and selling, a new way to partake in the society is coming, which again, it's not coming, it's already here. It's just a matter of the right event. Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor. And this is why over the years, and even more so in recent years, with this great culling, all right, the mass deletions of people, and so on and so forth, Esau has been doing to bring down the numbers. Why is that? Well, the fewer numbers, it's easier to control. So that's why I said both small and great, rich and poor. Pretty much there is no middle class, right? You either fall in one of two categories, the rich or the poor. There is no in between. It says free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And it's heavy because, again, if you haven't been sleeping under a rock, with all the news that's been coming out about the Neuralink implementation, right? China, as of lately, just, again, if you haven't been sleeping under a rock, you see what's going on, because this is the main prophecy outside of Yahweh return. This is the main prophecy we're on the lookout for. Yahweh Shemel Shah is lining all the dominoes and setting all the dominoes up, putting everything into place. World War III is at the front door. We're already in World War III. It's just not fully kinetic. Everything's being put into place. This is just the main prophecy we are on the lookout for. So again, it's the MOTB, it's not coming. It's here. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you won't be able to partake in society. All right. What's it called? I forgot the term for it. But basically, when you look at China's credit system, right? Because this is what dynamic pricing is, all right? Through AI, you know, depending on your credit score, right? And that's why we always make the point. It's deeper, sinister than just buying and selling. Esau, he really wants to be like the Most High. He has a godlike complex. But I just want to make this quick point here in Revelation 13. That word for, Revelation 13 and 16. That word for Mark. Because when you read verse 14, Revelation 13 and 14, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had this wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So just to sum it up, due to the power of Yahweh Shema Shah on the left hand, Esau, he's been given certain technology to fulfill this prophecy. All right, to bring this system to life. That's what it means when it mentions the image of the beast should both speak. All right, Esau, he's in a position now through Yahweh Shema Shai to bring this system to life. All right, and this is what we're in the process of right now. We've been in this process, all right, through the process of gradualism, right? Getting everyone accumulated to this system. That if you don't want to worship, as it says, and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And we know physically as well, going into those that are going to be martyred for not taking the MOTB, concerning the elect. That's how we know it's going to be a very bad time. And so much that Yahweh Shema Shai is really going to have to speed things up, because it's going to be that bad. All right, but also when you go into that, again, not being able to partake in society, as I said, buying and selling. So that's why I read that Isaiah 10, because the time is going to come when the just are going to have to live by faith. Because, hey, listen, I mean, we don't know how it's going to play out. But Yahweh Shema Shai, he has provisions set already. That's why, again, we're going to have to live by faith. We're going to be moved completely off the spirit. Again, Yahweh Shema Shai, he's really going to have to be with us, because I said this before, a lot of people are going to take the MOTB knowing that it's the MOTB, and they're still going to take it, because ultimately they're not of Yahweh Shema Shai's elect. But making that point in verse 16 again, that word for mark, which is this has been broken down a million times from the apostles, now bishops, that word for mark, which goes into the word charagma. All right, and the etymology of that word, which goes into that charax, which is the actual, because basically the that charagma being the actual device the size of a grain of rice. And then you got that the root word for that going into the charax, which is going to be pretty much the instrument that's going to be used in inserting that device under the skin. But the root word for that word charax, it goes into that grapho. And when you read it, it says to write with reference to form of the letters. Letters on a tablet, the contents of writing, express written characters, to express in written characters. So basically going into that word grapho, it's a database, basically, where, again, Esau, having the godlike complex that he is, knowing everyone's information, all right? Again, Yahweh Bashmal Shah granted Esau certain technology so that he can be able to accomplish these things, getting everyone grafted onto this system so that way he could be like the Most High. You say anything against the government, they can turn your C-hip off. You won't be able to buy and sell. You know, all the information that's been coming out over the years, all the information that our apostles have been coming out, you know, how they've been breaking this down, right? And just how, you know, because, you know, got Jake, man, talk about this truth is boring, right? Bringing out the same precepts, you know. Certain of the apostles, they always go back to the Aaron Russo interview, right? Well, we see it all coming together. Just making that point, we see how it's all coming together. You see, and mind you, at the time, you know, our apostles were teaching this. That's why, you know, it seems far-fetched, but that's how the Lord operates. It's supposed to seem far-fetched, because going back to the 80s, man, you know, our apostles were teaching this. You know, and of course, for years, they were scolded and laughed at, mocked and scorned, but it's not so funny anymore, because this shit is coming to pass. And throughout the Al Shemel Shah, we're just grateful to be on the winning team, man. We're just grateful to jump on the bandwagon, man. I also want to make the point, because again, this sounds like good news to most, but you best believe, according to prophecy, this is going to come to pass. The scriptures say he spake as the same chapter in verse Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So, of course, they got to play on the emotions of the people. So, again, this sounds like good news to most, for the majority, but you best believe prophecy is going to play out one way or the other. All right, prophecy is going to play out. All right, Esau, he's backing everyone into a corner. Even the elect. Again, that's why the elect are going to have to live by faith. All right. You know, but we don't have anything to worry about. And like I said, man, anything can happen between now and October 1st. You know, anything can happen. But Lord willing, this was edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bashmal Shah. Shalom to the elect.